Alright, what is going on today, chat? Another day, another Wednesday stream. What's going on, chat? How you guys doing today? Hopefully you guys are doing good. What do we got going on today? We got some grade review going on today. Gonna show off some stuff I picked up on Saturday, last Saturday. I don't know if I showed it or not. So we're going through that. Gonna be talking about probably a pretty big hot button topic right now with the PSA allegations, the end of the year. Everyone's like trying to ring these bells of the end is nigh, and I don't think that's true, so I'll probably talk about that. And then the one thing that I'm super excited for today is we're going to be playing some Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke. So we got a lot on the agenda for today. So hopefully you guys are having a good day. For those of you who are new here, my name is Galaxia Gaming, and I appreciate you hanging out. If you decide to stick around, always appreciate the likes, shares, follows, all that fun stuff. And we are just going to get, I think, right into it. So let's go over some of the pickups on Saturday. So let me back up. So Saturday, December, a lot of people have been talking about the market's crashing, the market's whatever. It's not crashing, okay? It's just finally the people who saw all those Wall Street Journal articles, like all the investor bros, the sneaker bros, whatever, are now hopping ship to another thing that's starting to trend upward, which is One Piece currently. So the market is cooling off. So a lot of people who bought into the hype are starting to feel that pressure if they see their collector app going down. So that's why there's a big issue. So the last show for me, typically I don't like to go into more shows in December because of the cooling off period. I tend to go back in mid-January. But it was a really good time to buy. So these were some of the pickups that I picked up. So first, nice little PSA 10 Dragonite Japanese promo. Like that a lot. And then let's just go over to some singles. So these were kind of the stuff that I was kind of looking for. It's just some nice general stuff. Got some, I think Prismatic is still a good set to collect from a vendor perspective. Got those as well. Let's see what else. What else did we pick up at the show? A lot of really good. I'm a big fan of the GXs. I'm not too sure why people sleep on them, but I really love. You can kind of see. I got the 4 there. I really like the shiny GXs, to be quite honest with you. So, and then picking up some 151. Got some sealed stuff that was pretty inexpensive. Got like 6 Snorlaxes, just the standard 151. So these are kind of the stuff that I'm picking up on. A lot of people, don't really realize that this is kind of the golden time to kind of get into the game if you feel like you haven't been able to because of the prices or whatever. It's really a good time to start picking some stuff up. And yeah, so don't fall victim to the fear of selling out. I think right now is a really good time to buy. But we'll talk about that in the next segment. But I just wanted to kind of go over some of the stuff I picked up on Saturday's show. So now we're going to get right into what we like to call grade review. So if this is your first time here, what grade review is every Wednesday I do a review on cards that have been submitted into the Discord, and I give my basically free PSA assessment. I'll talk about PSA in a little bit here, but grading in general, a lot of the techniques that I'm going to be talking about can carry over to any trading or any grading company. It doesn't have to be PSA, so it could be Beckett, CGC, Tag, whoever you guys use. Everything that I'm going to be talking about today can carry over to any grading company. It does not matter. So we're going to just start right off with this Murkrow. So the four main grading criteria: centering, corners, edges, and surface. So those are the big 4 that we're going to be looking at today. And so we're going to be starting off with this nice little vintage Murkrow. So this is a first edition. So one of the things about the dark types is sometimes you can kind of miss the first edition stamp. So always try to make sure that when you're looking for stuff, especially in bulk bins, when you come across a dark type from the old era, that you make sure that it's first edition or unlimited. So in this case, it is first edition. So first I like to check the centering. So centering is actually really good on this side. Nothing to complain about there. So the first thing I see, and I'm going to kind of first take a screenshot of that so I can start writing it up. So typically when I do these grade reviews for you guys, I tend to kind of draw pretty much all over it so you guys can kind of get a sense of what I'm kind of looking at. So first, right off the bat, that to me looks like probably just like a standard dirt blemish or something that can be wiped off with a little bit of microfiber cloth, distilled water, or even a Q-tip dipped in distilled water. Enough of that can probably be just removed from the corner of the card. So not too bad, but that is something, if left untreated, will impact the overall grade. As we continue to look, the unfortunate thing is that the background could have been a little bit darker, so this is a good thing to talk about when you guys are looking at cards online to get graded or to acquire for yourselves. Typically, you want to have it on a black background so you can see all the little imperfections on the edges, because sometimes if it's too white or too busy, you tend to lose a lot of that visibility or that accuracy when you're trying to look at it online. So that top left corner looks good. As we're kind of going along the edge here, maybe a little fraying here, but it's a little bit too hard to tell. Not sure if that's just because of the lighting or because of the picture. Let's see. So we do have a little bit of whitening here as well. Have some whitening here. Let's see. That corner looks good. A little bit of whitening here. Some more dirt here. But aside from that, I think we should be okay. So the corners and edges look to be really good. No problems there. So let's flip it on over. And those are just the corners. So flipping it over on the back, let's take a look. Smash, next card. All right. What's going on, Waste? Right now I'm looking at a Murkrow, and then ready to see this? Hold up. I think you'll appreciate this. We got Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke coming up. So stay tuned. We're going to be playing some Pokemon Yellow. And Nuzlocking it. So I can't wait for to name a Pokemon after you or anyone else in the chat. And we'll see how far you go. And there's some other cool things that I want to do with that too. So more to come in just a second. We don't have a lot of cards to look at today. I think it's only like 3. So we shall see. We shall see. Centering on this bad boy is pretty good. Just a lot of whitening on the edges. So right now we're kind of in that light play, moderately play condition here. So we got some there. Boom. Got some there. Got some whitening there. Got whitening there. Pretty much whitening on all 4 corners, all 4 edges. So right now, I think with the amount of whitening and the amount of dirt, we can kind of see all this stuff here, 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 and here. Typically, if I had this in my possession, it'd probably be getting to like LP minus or light play, like the worst side of light play and the good side of moderately play. So we're kind of getting into that 5 to 6 range. However, if this is a fold on this left side, which I kind of highlighted here, typically that's going to reduce it down to maybe a 5 or even a 4, depending on the severity. It doesn't look like it's really bad, but my guess for this one, just because of the back, I would say it's a pretty solid 5, to be honest. A lot of whitening on all 4 corners, and especially all 4 edges, so if you do have a lot of that, your score significantly decreases just from whitening alone. So that is... It is what it is. It be what it be. So let us get to the next card here, which is going to be a Latias. A Latias EX. A very, very nice card from Surging Sparks. So let's take a look at this bad boy. So the centering on this is actually really good. All 4 corners, all 4 edges, in really good shape. Honestly, not a lot to really talk about. Making my job kind of easy on this one, to be honest. But the back, let's see the back. The back is equally as good. Wow, this is actually a really good, clean copy of this Latias. Typically, you see, the little bits of whitening on the corners or it being off center. But I think it really, really looks good. I'm looking through kind of your other pictures that you took. Maybe the only thing that I see is probably in this bottom left corner. You have a little bit of possibly just white speck of dust or something like that you can just wipe off. But aside from that, I think you should be pretty good. So legitimately, I think this is a good 10 contender, to be honest. So yeah, so far so good on that one. And I think you had one more. Holy, what do we got? We got potatoes, we got hearts, we got roses, we got peppers. What the heck? Making an appreciation fruit salad. Waste, I appreciate you, as always. And a SpongeBob. Yeah, I saw that they're when you like the live, it's like SpongeBob's Bubbles, which is pretty sick. But as always, I always appreciate you. Thank you for showing the love and support, as always. And yeah, appreciate you. The roses, the hearts, the taters, the peppers. Almost like, what was that one episode of SpongeBob where he made the disgusting ice cream sundae because he didn't have enough ingredients in his house? And he has that big belly when he comes out of the door and the fog, the disgusting fog comes out of his mouth. That's what I think of. But I appreciate you. Thank you for making me SpongeBob's nasty sundae. Appreciate you. So yeah, there was only 2 cards. Or actually, no, there's 3. I'm sorry. There's 3. 3 cards in today's grade review. The Umbreon VMAX. Centering looks okay. Left, right, bottom looks fine. And then this one looks okay too. Legitimately. I think both of them are good 10 contenders, to be honest. Gotta go. Thanks for sticking by, Waste. Appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for swinging on by. I'm sure if you stream tonight, I probably will be in, most likely. So if you're streaming, I'll see you in a bit. If you're not, have a good night. I'll see you later. All right. So we're just gonna get right into it, chat. So let me kind of get my bearings here on this whole PSA card thing. All right, chat. This dark card is dark. I know, Betty. What's going on? We got some Game Boy coming up soon, Betty. Hang in there. But the one thing I wanted to kind of talk about really quickly is kind of the whole deal with kind of PSA at the moment, and what's going on with PSA, what's going on with the market, whatever. And really, I'm just going to kind of speak very candidly here. So is it the end of the world or the end of the year? In my opinion, I've been in this for almost 3 years now, from actually being a registered business, doing vending and just Pokemon specifically. It's just, this always happens at the end of the year. But I think the hype has been so high, what goes up must come down to a degree. And I think a lot of people are trying to ride the wave of Pokemon will forever go up and never come back down. Around Q4, quarter 4, especially during the holiday season, end of November, beginning of December, people want cash. Christmas is coming up. People are tending to sell more than buy. And so as a result, there's an increase in supply, which forces prices to go down. So while those prices are starting to go down, people are starting to either offload or trade or pivot to something that's hot. And currently, what's hot is One Piece. So a lot of people are going into One Piece because that's where that current up is, and they're totally getting out of Pokemon or trying to sell out and whatever. So if you're a Pokemon fan, now is the best time to buy. So if you're trying to get into the position or if you're in it for the long term, December is always a good time to buy. And if you can, as a seller, if you can hold off until like mid-January to end January, you'll probably be a little bit better off because people get the Christmas cash, people start to recoup some of their money, taxes start to come around for refund checks, stuff like that, which gives people a little bit more buying power. So just food for thought. Don't panic. It is okay. We will get through this. Just you gotta kind of hold tight. Oh, Betty, did you see? Did I show off what I picked up on Saturday? Let me know. I showed in the beginning of stream, but my TikTok already got restricted. TikTok's AI is awful. It is absolutely awful. But it is what it is. So yeah, so the PSA thing. I was kind of talking, I've talked about this probably about a month ago, but people are now starting to kind of see a little bit more on the darker side of feeding into this like monopoly system that like this closed loop that PSA has. And granted, do I think PSA prices will tank? No, I don't think they'll tank. Because at the end of the day, people still have money invested into these cards, and there's enough of us that will kind of keep that trust afloat because of the money that certain people have put into the hobby. I'm not defending it in any way, but there would have to be a lot for everything to plummet. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the cards that are still encapsulated are still worth money. They're still of value. So inherently, there is that kind of protection aspect to it. But the credibility is a bit faulty or shaky. So what I was talking about with people like selling back cards to PSA or going through these like resellers and kind of feeding the machine and saying, oh, well, PSA will give me 95% of market. And why do people need vendors anymore? It's like, well, they're positioning themselves to close the loop. So of course they're going to be able to pay more money if they control the entire life cycle of a card. So those who are feeding into that system, you know, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit because you're feeding into that idea and fueling this fire that ultimately is starting to show a little bit more legitimacy in kind of the repercussions of the closed loop, so to speak. So as of right now, I think the market is starting to band together a little bit just to kind of check PSA to say, hey, you know, we're not saying that your cards are going to lose value overnight because at the end of the day, that's what grading is all about, is the preservation and the increase in value of your cards. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think it's basically saying, hey, we're not going to fall, we're not going to become blind to this idea. We're not going to fall victim to it willingly, which is why you see a lot of accredited shops that do official PSA submissions basically coming in droves online, basically saying we're shutting down our submissions until things are resolved or things are quiet down or whatever, which is a really good look, honestly, from the community perspective. And it's only a matter of time that PSA was hopefully, you know, coming up with some PR to kind of discuss the allegations or just discuss this closed loop system. Will it happen? Probably not, because it's probably happened more in the behind the scenes and it's started to kind of like come to light a little bit, but it's still, I think there's a lot of missing information still, but at the end of the day, it's good to see that the community is seeing kind of these gaps, or this, like, what's happening behind the scenes and reacting accordingly, which is a good thing in my opinion. So at the end of the day, right now, everything is good to buy if you're a buyer, because stuff is pretty inexpensive, and it'll only be a matter of time to check how PSA reacts or how the market reacts to PSA, and collect what you like. We'll see how it goes. Potential, what's going on, brother? Just talking about the state of PSA and talking about people kind of panic selling because their hands are made out of tissue paper. So now we are going to go into some fun times, because I honestly have been looking forward just to chilling with folks who are frequent flyers of the channel. We're just gonna chill out and play some Pokemon. So we are big chilling. I'm gonna sit back, chill with chat. Hopefully you guys can see everything. We're just gonna be just gonna be playing some Pokemon, man. But do you think grading with PSA is still the way, even though they charge a percentage after, or should I go with? I legitimately think, man. I think from a return on investment perspective, I still genuinely believe that that going with PSA is still the right move. Right now, the market has a huge magnifying glass on PSA, but I don't think it's enough yet to significantly decrease the overall value of a PSA slab. So I would recommend sticking with PSA, in my opinion. But all right, so while Professor Oak is catching this very naughty Pikachu, let me show you what I got from Saturday's show. Here, ready? 1 sec. Pikachu is caught. Yeah. Let me go to just chatting real quick, because we are just chilling tonight, chat. Hopefully you guys are okay with it, because I am. But this is the stuff that I picked up on Saturday to kind of put my money where my mouth is. Yes. Appreciate the pre-grade on the cards today. Yeah, dude. If you were the one that sent the Lati and the Umbreon, those were pretty clean. So this is what I picked up. So you guys probably saw this in the Discord. Nice little Dragonite Hollow. I think you saw the prismatic stuff, but here's just like the rest of some of the stuff that I picked up. So a lot of just like random, because again, everyone's like freaking out for like no reason, but it's really the people who are just kind of in it for the money is who's really freaking out, and that leaves people like me a good opportunity. Not everyone freaking out, but people at this show were kind of freaking out. I had probably 8 people asking me for One Piece. I really like this card. Looks sick. This Benetti. I like to call it Benetti. I don't know why. As a kid, I called it Benetti, and I just stuck with it, even though I know it's not how you pronounce it. But I always like to call it Benetti. Yes, the Dragonite was sick. And then other cards that I genuinely really like to pick up, because I genuinely think that they look cool, are the Shiny GXs. Like, I love the look of these cards. I always pick these, and they're so inexpensive, and I just love how they look. Yeah, dude, this is so... I love these old EXs, too, these silver border EXs. I've always loved these. I tried doing a master set of these, but there's so many, and so many are just super expensive. But I love, like, the swirls, and like, the rings in the background look super sick. What else did I pick up? Picked up this bad boy that keeps going, like, up and down, left and right. Let's see. And then just a ton of sealed stuff, sealed promos. Like, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Snorlaxes. Some the Latis and a Rainbow. I've had this before. Graded, but like no one liked it. And those are the Sylveon and the Espeon. The Morpeko. I know you love that, Betty, but I know you have it already. And then a Mew and a Pikachu sealed. But another collection that I'm looking at. Look at this, chat. You ready? Hold up. I've seen so many OCs. I think I'm missing something. But guys, look at this. So I'm almost done processing this collection. My boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Poke, aka Chicken Man. I don't think he's been around. He's got some things going on. But look at these babies. So I got 3, rocking 3 birthday Pikachus. The OG ones. My favorite, when people ask me what my favorite card is, it's always the birthday Pikachu. The only card ever made that you were encouraged to write your name on the bottom. That's why I love this card so much. Look at them. Got 3 of them bad boys. So, gonna be hopefully getting that finished, but literally like there's like it's an ungodly amount of cards. Legitimately an ungodly amount. Like, let's see. And I'm trying to find Potential. Oh man, I know it's somewhere, but you are going to be super excited. And I wish I could find them, because I literally separated them. But there is a huge chunk of Neo stuff. And then oh, and these were just some like. No, that's the other pile. I got cards literally everywhere, chat. I legitimately got cards everywhere. But anyway, let's go back to Professor Oak, because he caught that Pikachu. And I'm going to hide this from... Boom. There we go. But yeah, I love... the birthday Pikachu is probably my favorite. But there's been, like, a lot of... there's been a lot of cards recently that I've been really, really wanting. And I genuinely don't know where that's come from. I think it's more of, like, they just look sick. Which is kind of fun. I haven't really thought of, like, adding a card to my collection in a very long time. Like, the Lenticular Deoxys. Oh. The Lenticular Deoxys Japanese promo is really cool. The Team Rocket, I mean, this one's, like, way out of my price range. It probably always will be. But the 2017 Japanese Team Rocket briefcase, Team Rocket promo number 278 with Jesse and James wearing the black Team Rocket uniform. That I would love to have that card. Absolutely love to have that card. And then another set that I've been really trying to think about collecting would be a near mint set of the Southern Islands. That's my favorite promo set ever released. I have the binder. I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe go into full cam. But I have the binder right here, right where my finger is. So you can kind of see the Southern Island binder kind of peeking out there. But that's probably my favorite set. That's not sealed or anything. I've had that literally since I was a kid. It was sick. I love that set because that was like when they didn't know what the English name of Meryl was. I think they called it Pika Blue for a while, which was kind of funny. But that's about it. Oh, you saw a few of the Southern Islands? Nice. Do I want to give a nickname to Pikachu? Alright, the first person that says, that types Pikachu, I'm naming it after you. In whatever chat. In whatever chat. Whoever says Pikachu first. I'm naming it after you. And if I don't see one fast enough, I have a name. Alright. And then ZA. Beautiful. Alright, Betty. You are forever locked in as Pikachu. I don't know if you're here anymore. But you are now Pikachu himself. To be named Pizza Rat. If I catch a Rattata, I will name it Pizza Rat. Just for you. Dang. That EV showed me almost no mercy whatsoever. I picked the wrong Pokemon, he says. Actually, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a little fit to screen action. There we go. Alright, let's see how Betty feels. Dang. Not a fan. Jersey Shore, my man Mike is here. What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother? Right now, I'm taking my vacation. Just finished up some grade review. Talked about the market a little bit. Gonna be playing some Pokemon Yellow. I kind of want to. I still have. I feel like I have to still work out the kinks, but I think it'd be kind of cool, to like have a binder collection of all of the Pokemon that I've captured in my Nuzlocke, and get the cards from that era. So, like for example, I have a Pikachu. And so now, I have to name I have to like get a Pikachu in a binder or something like that. From like base set or fossil or jungle or whatever. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. See how far the series goes first before I really commit to that. Want to get a tattoo of Eradicate and Rattata eating pizza? Brother, that would be sick. Are you kidding me? You know how much like Reddit karma you'd be able to farm if you posted that? You would legit get so many people to just farm your ego. So many people would love that. It'd be nuts. That's a good I actually have a Pokemon tattoo myself. When I was like way as an 18-year-old. It looks scuffed now, but don't regret it. Looks sick. It was like a watercolor rendition of the starters. It was like a little guy. It wasn't even that much. Or like that large, if you will. Oh, there he is. Galaxia himself. What a nerd. Right, chat? Point and laugh at that nerd. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, got it right at the ripe age of 18. And it's like I still have it. These tattoos ain't going anywhere. But funny times. Funny times had by all. Wait, do I have Pokeballs? I do not. So as a reminder, chat, Nuzlocks do not start until I obtain Pokeballs. Once I have obtained a Pokeball, the Nuzlocke has begun. And then as a recap, for those of you who don't know what I keep talking about with this Nuzlocke and what's a Nuzlocke and whatever. So the main rules of a Nuzlocke, for those who are uninitiated, is for every new route, I can only catch the first Pokemon I encounter in that new route. If I faint it, or if it runs away, I lose my encounter for that route. There's no gibbies, no takes, backsies, whatever. So that includes like cities, that includes routes, that includes the forest, that includes surfing, wherever. So that's that part. The other part is I cannot use items in battle. So I can't use potions, I can't use like X attack, X speed, I can't use any of that during a battle. And then the biggest one is that I cannot revive any of my own Pokemon. So the moment my Pokemon faints, I have to release it. It's gone forever. So that's the gist of it. But in this one, I can't overlevel. So I can't overlevel to exceed the max level of the upcoming gym. So in this case, it's Brock. So I think it's level 10. I think is his Onix, either level 10 or level 11. So none of my Pokemon can exceed that level. So it prevents me from basically just pumping my Pikachu up to 100 and just clearing everything. So we have that kind of in place for that reason. And yeah, it's a fun challenge. I absolutely love it. I love me some Nuzlocke. So now we're currently in the first route. And I need a town map from Gary's sister. Because I was getting bullied by Gary, a.k.a. Galaxia. But here's our first encounter. Is it the Pizza Rat? It is a Pidgey. A level 2 Pidgey. And with my luck, I do not want to use a Thunderbolt because I would absolutely annihilate that thing. Do I want to give a nickname to Pidgey? Yeah, I'll give a nickname. Let's see. Who in chat wants to be named Pidgey? Who wants their to be infamous with Pidgey? Let's see. Mike, I feel like I gotta wait for Snorlax if I come across one to name it after you, but you might be Pidgey, man. Maybe Bardian. I'm gonna make Bardian. No. There we go. Bardian. Bardian the Pidgey. Alright. Bardian, I'm telling you. Do not disappoint me. There we go. So now our adventure begins. See, it was not meant to be potential. Look at that rat. That poor rat. Oh. Yeah, so this was my first ever introduction to Pokemon chat, for those of you who don't know. More lore, more Galaxia Gaming lore, was Pokemon Yellow. And as a kid, where it says L4, like the level for Pidgey, I thought that was a 1. So I was like, oh wow, I'm facing against a level 14 Pidgey. And so like if a Pokemon was like level 16, I thought it was level 116, not just 16. So, there you go. Us as youth, chat. The things we thought were real were not real. Got the yapping Nurse Joy. It's so funny too, like going back and playing these games, like I'd say I remember probably 90% of the items that are hidden. Like this potion. Potion just chilling in a tree. Why I remember that, but I don't remember my like license plate number? Couldn't tell you. Genuinely, I have no idea. But I remember where the potion is in Pokemon Yellow. But my license plate? Forget it. Alright, so this is a new route, which means a new encounter, chat. Hope we're looking for a Nidoran or a Mankey. Would be ideal. And we got a rat. So far, our Brock fight is looking a little dicey. A little dicey. So... Alright. Potential. You've said it yourself. If we caught the Rattata. We are going to name it Pizza Rat. Yes. Pizza. Pizza Rat. There he is. In all of his rat-like glory. The Pizza Rat is ready to launch. But yeah, this is the first one, man. The first Pokemon game that got me into it. We gotta check on Betty. Okay, mood's improving, chat. Mood's improving. Now the question is, did the man get his coffee yet? He has had his coffee. He's feeling great. Cool. I get to be taught how to catch Pokemon after I have 2 of them. Good job, old man. And then another lore. This guy is a pivotal part of the Missing No glitch. You need him in order to catch Missing No in the regular games. Just another food for thought. And then this is, like he just said, this is a modified version. So this is Pokemon Yellow Legacy. I think it's Smith Plays Pokemon. Did 3 modifications of Yellow, Crystal, and Emerald. All 3 are amazing, amazing, amazing ROM edits. So highly recommend if you have not. Like, for example, this one, a lot of what he's done, it has been primarily more like quality of life edits, which are really good. So we got a new encounter, chat. So another thing to mention is if you have caught the Pokemon already, and this is huge, chat. So Vulpix is actually pretty nuts, to be honest. It's very high level. I think this shouldn't do anything crazy. But a Vulpix here is huge. Alright, a little critical. Okay, so maybe one more quick attack. So the other quality of life change is that more unique Pokemon come in. Get the old rod in the mart and use it in Viridian City for an encounter there. Yeah, that's what's nice about being able to use the rods in the cities. So like another thing that also counts are gifted Pokemon. So for example, if I was in, say, Cerulean, or no, Celadon. If I was in Celadon, where Erica is, I can get the Eevee there instead of fishing in the pond. So my Eevee would be my Celadon encounter. So we got a Vulpix. Alright. Yes. So we got Wasteland. Boom. That is a pretty solid encounter. However, we are still on the struggle bus, chat, because we do not have anything crazy to go against. Get the old rod in the mart, because you can't get the old rod is obtained in oh man, what's the Lieutenant Surge's called? It starts with a V. It's not Viridian because it's Viridian Forest. I'm blanking on the name. I don't know why. Or it is Viridian City. Yeah. No, it is right. What was I doing? I don't know what I was doing. Oh, I was going to the heal because Vulpix is almost done. Yeah, so we have a little bit of an uphill battle. The fact that we have no water types, grass types, we might have to get pretty lucky in the what's it called? In the forest, most likely. But I also have to train a little bit because my Pokemon are a little bit weak. So we're gonna speed this up here. They move the fisherman in the top right corner. Let's see. Oh, will you look at that? Grand, I like your style. Man, look at you, man. Yo, potential, man. My man coming out here with the clutch. What the heck? What the heck? Alright, well, I guess let's get our encounter here then, I guess. Good eyes, man. Good look. Well, let's hope. Because if it's Magikarp, I am screwed. Potential, you dastardly dog. Alright. A nice little quick attack again. Crit should not kill it. Perfect. Alright, so our team is looking pretty good. So far, so good. So now he's about to... I got hit 5 times. That's crazy. Okay. So I think... I don't want to risk that again. So just in case. The rat is the sacrifice just in case. We don't want anything getting too weird. Alright, you're just gonna slap me for 5 again? Alright. 4, okay. So we got a nice little... So this should be good. Nice. Nicknamed a Poliwag, of course. So since we named Pizza Rat Potential, this is you, man. Boom. There you go. The Poliwag has potential. So right now, we have a pretty good team. I'm not gonna lie, for right off the rip. Because we got electric, flying, normal. That's basically Pizza Rat. I'm sorry, is fodder. That thing is going the moment I need it to go. And Poliwag. So that's actually pretty decent, to be honest. Yes. And honestly, having a Poliwrath would probably be a pretty good, because water and fighting. Oh, I just got crit. But having that combination late game is actually pretty nice. So I'll take that. I will for sure take that. So now I just want to get Pidgey up a little bit, because I also want to face off against Gare Bear a little bit when we're heading over towards the Elite Four. I want to get him kind of boosted. Man, it's just like nothing but Pidgeys. My poor little Pidgey getting picked on. See, chat, this is why we don't fast forward all the time. Because my bird almost got one-tapped by that Rattata. There we go. So you always got to be careful. So once I get Pidgey up to level 5, we should be good, because then I can just basically bully Caterpies the entire time. Then I'll probably do a little bit of leveling after stream, but at least get us to get past Gary here. This is nice, man. It's been a while. There's still, because I beat Crystal, but I don't think I ever got around to playing this one. Like, I had it downloaded, I had it installed and everything. Never got around to it. Because I was more excited about Emerald, to be honest. Emerald Legacy. Because for me, I just love the fact that a lot of just the quality of life fixes between Dark and Ghost, that alone made the legacy games that much more enticing, because the fact that Dark was special and Ghost was physical in the old games made literally no sense. And just that fix alone buffed so many Pokemon. Like a Sneasel was actually really cool to get in Gen 2. Like same with like Gengar and Haunter. Another thing that you didn't have to like trade to evolve into a Gengar, Alakazam. You could actually get them in the game, which was really nice. So a lot of really good quality of life updates, for sure. So I'm trying to just get, I want to get everyone to at least level 7. Get everyone to 7. Go beat Gary. Get some extra cash. Because the other thing that I try to do as well, why I make it harder on myself is beyond me, but if there is a battle, I must take it. And I know that he is up there, so I know that I need to battle him. So that is why I keep talking about Gary so much. Oh, Spearow is in this encounter too. Wow. Actually, not bad. Okay, so Pidgey's at 7. We need Rat Boy to get in there. Beautiful. get potential in there. I have Yellow and Crystal Legacy on their own carts. I traded a bunch of my Vintage September for them, but couldn't afford an Emerald cart. Oh, wow. That's cool that he made carts. I didn't know that. Yeah, the Legacy ones are... They're so nice. Super nice. Man, all these pizza rats, man. Too many pizza rats, chat. Trying to take out my other pizza rat. Betty, how are we doing? Still not vibing. We're almost there. I think we got 2 more. Perfect. Get the double slap champ up in front. Boom. That was a little close. I probably shouldn't have sped that one. The stab pizza rat would have probably got me. Alright. And then just in case, we're going to get Pikachu up a little bit more because he's going to be pretty... Sorry, Betty, but you're going to be pretty useless here in about not too long. So we're going to make you a little bit stronger because I can't... Because that's kind of nice is I'm kind of going into this Gary fight kind of blind, so I really don't know if there's any changes. I try to go into these blind. Because that's what's kind of nice about this being set to where I can't overlevel, so I don't have to worry about, like, seeing how high the next gym is, so I don't spoil it for myself. So that's kind of nice. So we are going to... We're going to go in there just in case. Because why not? I want to say he probably has a Spearow in the lead. If he does, then he's cooked. So we're going to... There we go. Alright. Since we saw a Spearow. I didn't know he was going to be level 9, but... That's literally nothing. Alright, so we got an accuracy. So we got double defense. So we are going to... We're going to share the love a little bit. There we go. Beautiful, chat. Good job, Betty. So now we heal up. Boom. Beautiful. It was a good fight. I'm glad my gut was correct in thinking that there was going to be a Spearow ahead, since I saw that Spearow amongst the Pidgeys. I was like, he probably is going to have a Spearow if they're going to try to make the game a little bit more, like, fun in that way. It's kind of nice, too, because, like, now I kind of have to, like, talk to more people. Alright, so let's lead with... I think we can lead with Pikachu. Get a first encounter here. Ah, it's a trainer. I'm like, I do have a Pikachu. Nidoran. And paralyzed. Let's get Wasteland out there. Get Wasteland in rotation. Distribute some of this leveling here. Oh, and a burn? Oh, man. Gotta love that. The burn. Beautiful. Just in case. Actually, I probably should have Waste be up in front, to be honest. The beauty of fast forwarding in a ROM, chat, right here. Just boom. Already at the Poke Center. Heal my stuff. Boom. Hope to see you again. I think to this day, no one really understands why she's super happy for you to come back with weak or fainting Pokemon. But the world will not know. Questions that really need to be answered, chat. Alright. So let's see what we got. I remember as a kid when I first saw that you had like a 1% chance of getting a Pidgeotto was nuts. Caterpie. Okay. So having a Butterfree isn't the end of the world. It's actually a pretty good like kind of a Swiss Army knife Pokemon, if you will. Because it has like a pretty good diverse move pool. So like a lot of like the starter bugs are actually not that bad, which is kind of nice. So give a nickname to Caterpie. I know who I'm naming this as. We're gonna name you Chud. Boom. Chud the Caterpie. So not a bad first team, chat. Not a bad first team. We got some... Let's see. So you guys can see what I'm talking about over on TikTok here. So we got some... Got some water types, fire types, electric types, flying, bug. Yeah, we're chilling. We're big chilling. But how are we doing, Betty? She's happy, chat. She's finally happy. And then the other thing I wanted to see, because it has like stats. They can press start or something. Let's see. No. Make sure it's safe here. There we go. Boom. All right, chat. It's going to be a short one for me. I think we'll call it there. Because on TikTok, I was already restricted in two minutes going into it. So that's always fun. But I have a lot of videos to edit, chat. So we're going to keep on editing those videos for you guys. This whole pretty much month is going to be me editing and catching up because I have a lot of footage to edit, and I haven't had time. But now I will have time. So appreciate you guys hanging out. If I submit one more card, do you think you'd take a quick look? I'm probably going to be heading to bed, to be honest, or editing. So I got to hop off and do some other stuff too. So I'm not trying to dodge you. I just wish I could. But I have to hop off. So yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. As always, I'll be back on next Wednesday. Probably just keep doing this. Keep doing some Nuzlocke, hanging out with you guys, just chilling. Unless I have to like clean cards or process more collections or anything like that, then I'll do that. But I just kind of wanted to take a chiller for this week. Outside of the grade review is a little bit light this week, so decided to take a little bit of a chiller. So appreciate you guys hanging out, and I will